Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Graham Cooper, and I'm here today to talk about making things simple. Simple, easy, sounds like the same thing, but they're not quite. Here is a generalised model of human cognitive architecture. There's a few different memory types inside here. There's sensory memory. This lasts for fractions of a second. There's long-term memory. This is measured in months to years. And there's working memory. And this is measured in minutes, maybe to an hour. It's your consciousness. It's what you use to do thinking. And so the argument is, if I can make it so you don't have to think about as many things, things become easier. Where's Wally? Time's pressing. If you were given enough time, you'd do it, but it's difficult. Where's Wally? You'd be able to do that one. Where's Wally? And some of you are laughing and smiling because it's a little bit different. So there are issues of how we define complexity, ease, and so on. In the context of simple mathematics, the numbers are the same. It's easier to do addition than multiplication because there is less element interactivity in those numbers when you do addition compared to multiplication. So these are all just examples to demonstrate what we mean by complexity. There are three clusters here. First two, jobs and tasks. Jobs can be made simpler by meaning you do less. If I can strip things off of what you do, the job becomes generally easier. Less things to do. If I'm looking at standard operating procedures for tasks, I'm taking away decision making from you. If I look at that second cluster, information systems, if I can get a computer system to do more things automatically, it's easier. Interfaces, if I can reduce the amount of search you have to do, it's easier. And the last two fall into the orbit of instructional design or educational context. If I can make it so it is more obvious the links or reduce the things that are irrelevant, you'll learn more. We're a school of business and tourism. So how do we make tourism simpler? Historically, people had to go to a travel agent. There were many things to find out and it was difficult to get the information. It's not like that anymore. The internet provides all of the information at your fingertips, provided you know how to use it. And many people now, particularly younger people who are travelling and backpacking, take a computer with them. Because if you have something as simple as a smartphone, you can connect to the internet. You can, as you travel, work out your next plane ticket, your next hotel, your next destination. And even if you aren't connected, you can still use on-board applications for things like vocabulary translators. So increasingly in the modern world, whether it be a large resort or down to a homestay situation, the people who visit are being given access to free Wi-Fi. And that's great, not just for the tourists or the travellers. It's great for the locals. The people who own the homestays, they use a computer system when the tourists aren't around. Their children use it. Might be early hours in the morning, might be late at night. They're doing it with their mates. As things like computer systems and Wi-Fi become available to these communities, it's acting as a source of education, not just for computer technology, education in general. They can access Wikipedia, news, search for information. The graphic's actually from a hole-in-the-wall experiment. It was done about 10 years ago in parts of India. They simply put computers available on the street, and the kids who did not know how to use computers started teaching themselves lots, including how to use English, speak English, so they could use the system. So that's the sort of thrust of it. Modern day travellers have access to the technology, and it's leaking into the local communities. Part of my motivation or interest in this is a photo of a place called Lochner. This photo is from 1984. And I spent quite a bit of time there, and then in 2004 the tsunami took it out. Of the population of 7,500, 400 survived. The town has been rebuilt. There's not many locals, but the tourists are coming back. And they are being enabled by technology, and I can see, because I've been there, the hotspot that technology is giving to that village, very localised. The people dealing with the tourists are becoming much more educated than the people who are not. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.